Happy Easter! Happy Easter Bunny Day, Happy Chocolate Day, Happy Rebirth Day, Happy Spring! All of the beautiful things, whatever you're celebrating today, it's always a good chance to celebrate life, isn't it? These festivals. So here we are coming into spring. I love seeing the bunnies around. Yay! And it's day 1456 of the Daily Antidote song. Thank you so much to Carpe Diem Arts for supporting and making this show and this beautiful community possible. And hello to all of you gorgeous folks. Let's say hello to everybody in the room. So hello to Jojo in Tacoma Park, who's not really here, but we can see you. Hello to Kim Bothen, our wonderful song leader for today. Look forward to hearing your song. Hi to Sid in Tacoma Park, first time on the tech. Thank you so much. James in Tacoma Park, welcome. And Delhi and Pauline in Newcastle, UK. Arlene in Berkeley and a tiny bunny. It's so cute. Welcome to you. David and Elsie with is it a dragon? Is it a dragon? I'm not sure. I love the look of it though, whatever it is. Welcome to you. Welcome to Athena and Aloysius in Massachusetts. Beautiful blue sky there. Susan G and Julie in Ontario, and Sheila in North Florida, and Cricket, hello, and Hoda in BC, and Bonnie in Boise with a very cute bunny as well. Ruth and Clive in Birmingham, UK. Bob Gesser, Caroline in Boise. That looks like a kind of leaping bunny in midair, love that. Linda in Orcas Island, Kathleen in Albuquerque, and Sue in Seattle, and Anne in Silver Spring. Welcome, welcome all of you. Susan McKay, you're looking dressed up and ready to go. Have a lovely whatever you're doing. Nancy in Washington State, welcome. Kevin, welcome. Mabel, Bob and the Bears, welcome to you. And Lola Mystery and Storm, just Storm. Leanna and Dawn and Caroline Quant and Bronwyn in Victoria, BC, welcome, welcome. And Elizabeth in California, Sandy in North Carolina, Bob on his iPhone as usual, and Dennis Donnelly. That is all of our wonderful tribe today. How lovely. Let's send a wave and some Easter sparkle and maybe some virtual chocolate through the screen. Just beaming chocolate love to everybody here. How many people have eaten one Easter egg today?
Not today.
Not that many. Interesting. They are a very disciplined bunch. I don't eat chocolate, sadly, because I can't have sugar. But if you have eaten some, I hope you've enjoyed it. Right, here we are with Kim Bothen from Vancouver, BC. Welcome to Kim. Kim is a lover of country and old-time music, and she leads the Sky Song Community Choir in Victoria, BC. And like many of us, she took to the parks and the Zoomiverse. So I think there's a link with Storm here during the pandemic. And that's still going strong, that group. And yeah, really looking forward to, Kim, what you're going to bring to us today. So yeah, hi, how are you?
Hi, everyone. Hi, Fran. Thank you very much for that. And it's so lovely to see all of you again. It's been a while since I've been here. I've been sort of catching up by joining into the sings a bit more often, which is great. I had a little hiatus for a while, and I'm just going to say, though I've kind of given in to putting Vancouver in my title, I actually now live in a small town on Vancouver Island called Port Alberni, near the coast. So, and I've just restarted up my choir after a couple of years. And so it's a brand new start in a small mill town. So that's all really interesting. I won't talk too long. I'm going to just start to sing. And I've chosen, Joe had sort of initially said, well, maybe you'll be on Easter Sunday. And so maybe there's a song there, and that got me thinking a little bit. And this one I want to offer up as a kind of, we as people, as nations, as societies, as cultures, I think one of the things we have to give each other and share is our musics. And this song comes from a part of Canada far on the East Coast. It's sort of our little Ireland, so I think it's Irish Heritage time also, is one of my understandings. This was from a composer named Leon Dubinsky from Cape Breton Island, Nova Scotia, Canada, way far on the East Coast. And it's been a Canadian anthem of sorts for many years, done by many. And I know for sure Dennis Donnelly will know this song. I think a bunch of you will recognize it. And I'm curious, but anyway, I'm going to go a cappella this time. I thought I might have my little old guitar, but that's not going to happen today. So I'm just going to I'll go do the chorus and teach the chorus. So we'll do the chorus a couple of times. That's your part. So is there any show of hands maybe about who recognizes this song? We Rise Again by the Rankin Family? Some folks. Anyway, let's just dive into the chorus. We rise again in the faces of our children. We rise again in the voices of our song. We rise again in the waves out on the ocean. And then we rise again. So I'm going to break that down and do just a couple of lines at a time, and we'll just sing through that a couple of times, and then you'll be able to sing along with me while I sing the song. I wish I could see, I can't ever see gallery view anymore. Anyway, I'm going to break it down. So I'll sing a couple of lines. We rise again in the faces of our children. We rise again in the faces of our children. We rise again in the voices of our song. We rise again in the voices of our song. We rise again in the waves out on the ocean. We rise again in the waves out on the ocean. And then we rise again. And then we rise again. Let's put the whole thing together and sing it through one time, and then I'll sing the song. I think I'm going to lower it a notch, though. I think I started a little high. I don't have my trusty 1, 2. We rise again in the faces of our children. We rise again in the voices of our song. We rise again in the waves out on the ocean. And then we rise again. One more time. We rise again in the faces of our children. We rise again in the voices of our song. We rise again in the waves out on the ocean. And then we rise again. When the waves roll on over the water and the ocean cries, we look to our sons and daughters to explain our lives, as if a child could tell us why. That as sure as the sunrise, as sure as the sea, as sure as the wind in the trees. Here comes the chorus. We rise again in the faces of our children. We rise again in the voices of our song. We rise again in the waves out on the ocean. And then we rise again. When the light goes dark with the forces of creation across a stormy sky, we look to reincarnation to explain our lives, as if a child could tell us why. That as sure as the sunrise, as sure as the sea, as sure as the wind in the trees, we rise again in the faces of our children. We rise again in the voices of our song. We rise again in the waves out on the ocean. And then we rise again. Do that again. We rise again in the faces of our children. We rise again in the voices of our song. We rise again in the waves out on the ocean. And then we rise again. And then we rise again.
Yay! Thank you, Kim. Wow.
Thank you.
What a wonderful, rousing song. I can imagine it like full
Yeah,
choir arrangement, like big groups just powering through singing that. Great.
absolutely. Yeah. So a group. So a couple of things, reasons I chose that song. I haven't really performed that song, but I've sung it for years and years. There's a Canadian family, the Rankin family. I know in our various countries we have traditions of families making music together. That's really true on the east coast of Canada in many places. And there was a big musical family called the Rankin Family, and they a number of them had quite a successful recording career as a group, 6 or 7 of them, I think. And they had a huge hit with this particular song, a beautiful arrangement. There's this singer, Cookie Rankin, she just hit on some of those sweeping phrases. She just hit these notes that were way out in the stratosphere that I could never hope to meet. But much beloved of across this country. We're a big, huge chunk of rock, much as our neighbors to the south, but we're much more sparsely populated. So our music and our national radio broadcaster keeps us really connected. So that song was much adored. For me personally, the Rankin family, it's an Irish tradition. As I said, Cape Breton Island and Nova Scotia are our little Ireland, really, in many ways. And the Rankin family music formed a big part of the background of my family household when we were growing up. It was one of the musics we played in our living room dancing around the living room.
Oh.
I sent a link, but yes, so what I didn't include, so maybe just put this in the chat, Rankin Family, Rankin. And I really strongly, if you don't know the song, I'm thinking that at least some of the Canadians who are joining us knew the Rankin Family version. It was quite a big national hit. Choirs all over the world picked it up.
Yeah, I think Caroline in DC has put a link to a YouTube of the Rankin Family Rise
Oh,
Again.
good,
That's
good.
there.
The one
Yeah,
I did, the one I did include, I really love, and I feel like it's really representative of what watching it, I was reminded of a national dream that we had here, and I think in some ways still see ourselves as a really. You'll notice it's an Anne Marie led song from outside. I think you know what my battery is. I have a bad battery. I'm going to have to plug in a second. But
sure.
the one I did include is some of our best loved East Coast ensembles. So Anne Marie, who's our songbird. I'm sure most of you know Anne Marie. And it also features the Rankin Family, the Men of the Deep, which is an organization, a choral ensemble of miners who sing together. And I just weep when I see them.
Oh.
And also Men of the Deep. Oh, and another beloved from the East Coast, Rita McNeil. So I really strongly also recommend it. It looks a little bit dated because we've gotten so fancy and so tech savvy, but it's just beautiful and makes me weep. So I do highly recommend looking up that. You know what? Can you take me off? I need to plug in. I'm
Well,
so sorry.
yes,
I
you can
noticed that
definitely
my
plug in.
plug is right here and not plugged in. So I'll just be
Sure,
1 second.
no problem. I will do something. Say
We
something.
had a
Something
little,
will come
we
out of my
had a
mouth.
little, yeah, we had a little challenge at the beginning, and in
Yes,
the
that's
kerfuffle,
fine, Kim. It's so
I'll be
great to
right.
hear. And I just wanted to say, I think we were talking in the you don't need to be on screen. You can do what you need to do.
Yeah.
But we were talking before about this song and whether, because Kim was saying it has travelled far and wide, and whether it had made it to the UK. But I hadn't heard it in the UK. But I'm now thinking I should recommend this to the Natural Voice Network and tell some of my choir leading friends, because I can imagine that orchestrated, I was going to say, arranged for choirs just so beautifully. So I think it's one that I'm definitely going to spread the word about for sure. And I've just thought it's a very good idea, Sheila. Let's talk about chocolate while we wait. Favorite brands of chocolate. What are we liking? You have lots of different chocolate in America and in Canada. Do you have green and blacks? Have you heard of green and blacks? No. That's one that we have over here, quite a big one. Divine chocolate. Do you have divine? No. Oh, some do. Some do, some don't. Okay.
I'm
Oh,
back.
yay!
Sorry
Wonderful.
about that, folks. So the other thing that I want, I mean, the other, I think the
Kim,
other aspects. Oh, can you hear
just
me?
to, just to say, Kim, we're coming to time, so we would love you to sing the song again pretty imminently if you're up for that. And just
Okay.
to let you
Yeah,
know, we're coming to
absolutely.
that
And
time.
I have a closing song. I did also just want to bring to attention the other aspects of that song and the other reason for that song, and to see this is a seaside community that depended on the ocean, and so the talk about the stormy skies and the ocean cries, that's a real thing for these people. But then of course there's all the metaphorical stuff in that song, about rising again at this time of year and in
Yeah,
this time in the population on the planet. So yes, I do have a closing song, but we can sing
wonderful.
the chorus. We can sing the chorus. How about this? I would propose the chorus a time for Rise Again, and then maybe my closing song. Would that be okay, Fran? What do you
Yeah,
think?
sure. We've got about, I'd say, 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, we got lots of time then for the. Let's do the chorus of We Rise Again
Great.
a couple of times through, and then I'll break and just sing the little closing song that just came to me the other day, actually. And hello to. It's so nice to see all of you here. I can't see all of you right now because I'm on the screen, but I'm going to sing the chorus. Let's sing it maybe a couple of times through. I love that chorus. Okay. We rise again in the faces of our children. We rise again in the faces of our song. We rise again in the waves out on the ocean. And then we rise again. Let's do it one more time. We rise again in the faces of our children. We rise again in the voices of our song. We rise again in the waves out on the ocean. And then we rise again. Thank you very much. I just have this little closing offering. That actually goes to my Irish great granny, who I knew and grew up with a little while. Can we have the lyrics to the closing song up on the chat? Thank you very much, Fran. And so lovely to see all of you. Congratulations for hanging in there for all these 4 whole years, nearly 5. so wonderful to see a whole bunch of you here still. And again, song, the closing song, there it is. I see it. I don't know if you can see it. We've got Rise Again in the chat. There it is. Yep. This is just a little, I'll sing it through a couple of times, and hopefully on the second time around you can join me. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for being wonderful, you. Yeah, thank you so much for singing with me. I hope we'll do it again sometime. Let's sing together again. Real soon, let's get together again. Maybe one more time. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for being wonderful, you. Thank you so much for singing with me. I hope we'll do it again sometime. Let's sing together again. Real soon, let's get together again. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Fran. Thanks, Joe, from the bottom of my heart for all that you do. And happy spring. Happy Rise Again. Happy Easter. Enjoy yourselves, your lives, your families.
Yay. Thank you so much, Kim. That's such a great song. I love it. Really, really joyful and really feels perfect for this community. And thank you for being you. And thank you for showing up with these
Huge pleasure. Huge pleasure.
Thank you. Oh, wonderful. Well, another beautiful day in the Daily Antidote. I'm glad to see, I'm seeing in the chat, you do know Green and Blacks. That makes me feel connected with you. Even more across the pond. Wonderful. So I want to say a special shout out. Can we all please send lots of love and thanks to Sid? It's her first time on the live stream.
Yeah.
And she's done amazingly. Thank you so much, Sid. Awesome work. Always a bit of it's a nerve-wracking thing doing that, isn't it? So you just did so well. Thank you. And we'll see you all again tomorrow. We're going to say goodbye to you all, and then we will be finished. Happy Rebirth Day. So goodbye to Kim. Thank you so much for your beautiful song. Thank you to Sid again for taking over the tech. That's wonderful. Thank you, Deli and Arlene in Berkeley, and David and Elsie in Oakland with their wonderful green dinosaur. Athena